peppers today, stuffed peppers. And for that, we are going to need whatever you have in your fridge. I just happen to have leftover ground beef from the other day, and I don't have a lot of ground beef, but I want to use it up before it goes bad. So what else do I have in my fridge? I happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peppers. And I'm going to have some potatoes. I'm going to stuff some potatoes as well. You can also stuff onions if you want, but I don't think I have enough ground beef for that. And I'm going to stick some carrots in there. I'm going to stick some garlic in there, a bunch of herbs, some breadcrumbs. But you can pretty much make any stuffing you want to stuff your peppers, really. Anything would work, guys. I like the way that my mom taught me how to make it is I get all the old heel bread that's in the fridge. The heels that nobody wants. Nobody wants the heels, right? So I save them because you can either make bread pudding with the heels, or you can texturize a stuffing of whatever kind of stuffing you have. Since I am making stuffed peppers and I don't have a lot of ground beef, and it also makes the ground beef kind of moist, so I said, let me use up my bread heels. Let me use up my bread heels. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using up my bread heels and crushing it all up like this, and then we're going to add milk to it. The reason why I do this first is because I want it to get soft, really soft, guys, while I go ahead and multi-process little pieces, my onion, my carrots, and if you want to add anything else, if you have like cilantro or basil or anything in the fridge and you want to add that to it, you can as well. So make sure that's nice and in there, enough milk. If not, you can bring a little bit more out, but you don't want too much. We just want to get it soft. We want to start getting it soft. I might bring a little bit more milk in there. See? Just soften it up, you put it to the side, and you start working on getting all the rest of your ingredients ready. And then I will come back on, and we will finish it up. Okay, see you in a minute. And my peppers. And like I said on the first video, I'm just basically trying to use what I have in the fridge. I had leftover ground beef, which was starting to get brown. But I smelled it and it's not that bad. The brown is because of the being opened, you know. And I soaked some heels from breads that people don't want, that my kids and my husband don't like. Make it soft with a little bit of milk. So I'm going to put that in the stuffing, which is great because you can multiply your stuffing this way too, guys, you know. And I didn't want a special order or anything. When I made holes in my stuffed peppers to stuff them, in my peppers to stuff them, I always keep the pepper seeds, see? And here, they're kind of like stuck there, so you just have to peel them off. You just peel them off, and a bunch you'll lose on your fingers and stuff. But it's okay, because you'll have a lot more. You can throw away, but you keep the pepper seeds, and then you dry them. And you plant them along with your Vidalia onions, the bottom parts. I put those in a little bit of water, and they'll start sprouting up here. And when they start sprouting, you plant them, and you'll have a Vidalia onion come out. And they're very hardy. And they also, it's good to plant them near other plants because it'll keep the bugs away. And then I also, my potatoes, I keep the little, what do you call those? I keep the eyes, because those eyes, you also grow them and they will grow. So one potato can have a bunch of eyes. Keep them. Don't throw them out. And then you put them on the side somewhere, dark. And no, these you can grow right away, unless you want to put them in a little bit of water. It'll probably work. I've never done those, actually. Any tips, guys? Let me know. But these, I just soak them in a little bit of water. In a couple of days, they'll start sprouting. Or let's just plant them directly. Anywhere. And put a little stick or something so you remember what it was you planted. Because my memory's so bad, I forget. And then I think it's a weed and I pull it. So anyway, back to our cooking. So I have my whatchamacallit, my soaking with milk bread heels. And then I'm going to open up. I use my hands for everything, guys. My hands are clean. And it's not a lot of ground beef, but, you know, I got to do something with it. I can't just let it go to waste, right? So I saw I had old potatoes that were going bad. So I cut those eyes out. So I'm going to plant the eyes. And then I got some ground beef, and I got a couple carrots. I made them really nice and fine, guys, very fine. And I have some onions, which the onions I could have made a little finer, but you have to be careful with onions because the onions, if you make them too fine, you multi-process them too much and you make them watery, it's amazing. It will change the texture of your food. It will completely ruin it. It will completely ruin it. You don't want to keep these tops, okay? You want to keep the top of the onion that has the little things that come out, which those are going to be like roots. Each Vidalia onion, guys, is $1.30 at the store. So I'm like, heck, I'm going to try to get another onion out of that onion. Oh, heck yeah. Why not? Okay, pepper. I don't know. For that much, maybe half a teaspoon. Teaspoon of salt. Because there is nothing that is already salted here. But a teaspoon of salt. And I eye everything, guys. I've cooked for so long. Nutmeg, because it's my business. And I just love my nutmeg in absolutely everything. So maybe a teaspoon of that. Some comino, some cumin, which is the empanada. And pretty much everything I make, I put cumin in. And paprika. Can't forget the paprika, guys. Even though I got the wrong paprika. This one is called smoked paprika. Normally I get sweet paprika. I don't know. Hopefully it won't be too bad of a taste, right? I'm going to put a little bit of breadcrumbs. And I'm going to save the other breadcrumbs to do the toppings, guys. Oh, I forgot to get the eggs. I like to put a couple of eggs in there just because I can. Just because I can. Okay. Eggs. Couple of eggs in there. Okay. You can put a little Parmesan cheese if you want for flavor. Where is my Parmesan cheese? I forgot it. Can't do that. Can't forget our Parmesan. Okay. Just a little bit. You can pretty much put anything you want in there. You know, you guys know what your favorite stuff for stuffings is. I put a little bit of everything. I even put a little bit of tomato sauce just because. I don't have any herbs. My herb garden has been harvested. But what I do is when I harvest it, I make basil and I freeze it. Even though it gets a little brown, oh, it's still delicious. So I multi-process it with olive oil, and then I bring out a container at a time in my fridge, and my kids use it mixed in with Alfredo sauce or tomato sauce with their noodles. Oh, they just love it. And I use it for seasonings because I don't have basil all the time. And now more than ever, guys, I am missing. Let me make sure I got everything in there. I think I do. I think I have everything in there. Okay. I am missing, guys. Oh, I need just a little touch. Just not much. Just a little touch of sugar. You can use a little bit of honey or whatever, but I just like to have a little sweet something in there to kill any kind of acid or anything. So, And if you don't have these seasonings, just add a little taco seasoning in there. Add whatever you got, guys. Whatever you like to taste, throw it in there. Throw it in there. And then mix it all up. And look at that little tiny bit of ground beef. Look at all the stuff it made. All the stuffing it made, right? I like to stick my hands in there because I like to get it. And you can even put some spinach in there if you want. If you notice you need a little more ground beef than what you have, put some spinach in there. Put whatever you have in the fridge. It'll make it bigger. You can even put garbanzo beans in there. And you know what? Your family won't even know they're in there. You don't have to say anything. Because my husband hates garbanzo beans. Hello? He's been eating them for 30 years now and he doesn't know. Because it makes the stuffing bigger, and you can even put mashed potatoes in it. In Argentina, to make the ground beef a little bit more for the empanadas, we put mashed potato in the empanada stuffing, and no one knows. So, okay. So there we go. The rest is really simple, guys. The rest is just stuffing. Oh, before we stuff, let's make some holes in these. I forgot to make the holes on my potatoes. So let's move this to the side. I also cut up some sweet potatoes, and onion pieces. The onions, I make them big like this, nice and thick, so that when they cook, you don't lose them or they burn. And normally, I like to put a green pepper in there too mixed up, but I'm kind of short today. And the way that we do the little holes for stuffing the potatoes is very easy. You just cut little pieces out with your handy dandy grapefruit spoon. Comes in handy for when you have to do stuff like this. You can also do this with your onions. And the inside part of it, you save it. Because what we're going to do is we are going to cook that in the oven along with everything else. So make it as close to the bottom as you can get. As close to the bottom as you can get. I've made these with you guys before, I remember. Yes, and if you cut a little bit too much, like I did right there, I made a little hole, just grab a little piece and put it back in there and patch it up. Nobody will know. Nobody will know the difference. And then I have a couple more to do here, man. I don't know. I should have done this before I got on. I'm sorry. I try to do my stuff so I'm not on too long. So, yeah. So I'm not on too long. You can also stuff big giant carrots if you have big giant carrots. Oh, but the best, my favorite are zucchinis. I do this with zucchinis, and then the inside of the zucchini, you can add that, guys, in there. Oh, in your stuffing, it's so delicious. But I'm excited. I've been growing some vegetables, and now I harvested all my towers. My 3 towers are harvested, which it means that I have to wait now. I planted some little rock wool thingies to put on there, but it's going to take maybe a week or 2 before they start budding. And once they start budding, then I'll plant them in there. But I also made some patches in my yard. I just cut around the grass, and I made my own little areas to plant some more vegetables, because now that I can't get to the vegetable store, oh my gosh, guys, I miss it so much. I can't believe how much, and I used to hate to go to farmer's market, but I miss it. I miss getting my beautiful giant eggplants for 99 cents. They're $6 now. I miss that so much. I miss looking at my dandelion. But anyway, I bought a bunch of seeds that are coming in the mail. I bought dandelion. I bought sweet corn. I even bought topsy-turvy strawberries, guys. I'm going to grow some strawberries upside down. I've always wanted to do that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them to Greg as a birthday present. No, not a birthday present. His birthday's past. A Father's Day present. That's what it is that's coming up for him. because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to get mad that I'm spending money on seeds. But you know what? I'll just say, hey, here, Greg. This is your Father's Day gift. Don't you love it? I know how much you love strawberries. Oh, that's so funny. One year, he talks about this all the time. He probably told you guys the story a billion times. For his birthday, I got him a giant Last Supper picture. Because I wanted a Last Supper picture. So I went and I got one. And I said, here, this is your birthday present, sweetie. A Last Supper picture. And there we go. They're ready to go. Before we stuff them, let's get ready our Pyrex here. The Pyrex is that big giant one that I use all the time, guys. You know, it's very familiar. I got 2 of them, big like this, actually. Put a little bit of oil on the bottom. Olive oil or avocado oil, whatever's your favorite oil. Throw it on the bottom a little bit and just run your hands through it. Put it to the side. Do the same thing. Put a little bit of oil in your hands and run it quickly through your potato, because that will help it golden, get a little more golden. You don't want a lot, just a little bit. When your hand gets dry, just put a little more. Okay, there we go. You don't really have to do it on the sweet potato, on the peppers, but I do anyway, just because, I just like, if I'm going to give everybody a little extra love, I'll do them too. Okay, so let's bring the stuffing back. Since the stuffing is all raw, guys, it's going to take a long time to cook. So we're going to be covering up them when I put them in the pan. We're going to be covering them up with foil for about 40 minutes in 350. That's too big of a spoon. 40 minutes in about 350. And then we are going to uncover it. Maybe lower the temperature depending on what it looks like to you. And we're going to cook it a little longer. Stuff them really good because we have so much stuffing. Well, first, the video stops. I don't know how to stop the calls to come in when I'm filming. But anyway, so he was calling because he's coming home from work. And he always calls me first to let me know so I can get everything ready in the restroom for him, because he's not allowed to talk to anybody or do anything. He goes straight to the restroom and showers up and puts his clothes in a bag, and then I wash it with very hot water, everything in them. And then I go out there with gloves and I disinfect his phone and his wallet and, all that good stuff, his belt, all that stuff that needs to get disinfected. His keys with Lysol, his shoes, and then he comes out of the restroom from a shower and with new clothes, and I wash the other clothes, and hopefully he's good. I don't know what else to do. Anyway, so these are coming along very nicely, but it looks like I'm going to have some leftover stuffing here, guys, which is okay, because you know what we can do with the leftover stuffing? I'll make some meatballs. Yeah, I'll make some meatballs, and then I'll just surround the meatballs with some breadcrumbs, and I will put them in a Ziploc in the fridge, and tomorrow I will make ziti's or something with meatballs. Yes. So always think, guys, of what you can do to, where are my potatoes? Oh, here they are. Of what you can do to use up all the stuff you have. Every now and then it's really good to look also in your fridge, right? I wish I could put you a little closer. To look in your fridge and look at how cute the potatoes look. You can put them in you can look in your fridge and even in your freezer and see what you have. If you have a lot of leftover, like a lot of leftovers in there, you have a lot of, like I looked the other day and oh my gosh, I have too many frozen fruit. So I'm like, okay, this week I am going to have lunches. I'm going to make smoothies for lunches all week. Why? Because I got to use up my frozen fruit before it goes bad. I also have a lot of frozen veggies, so I'm going to make soup. I'm gonna make, look at all this extra. My gosh, I ran out of things to stuff. So I guess I'm gonna have this for meatballs tomorrow. But because it's ground beef that I've had there for a couple of days, oh, there's one more potato here, yay! I'm going to, make sure I use them tomorrow because I don't want it in the fridge too long. Don't forget that, guys. And if you're like me and you forget stuff so easily, and now I'm going to go with my hand and make the ones up here a little bit fuller stuffed. Let me bring it over here. If you're like me, I forget stuff all the time. So let me bring it down a little bit. It's really good to put little sticky notes or little stickers or something on your actual things in the fridge, like with a little tag or something, and also in the freezer that tells you when you made it or when you packaged it, just like the stores do, right? Because a lot of times I freeze like watermelon. I like to freeze cantaloupe and honeydews. When they're on sale, I buy a lot. I'm really stuffing them. They're really fat. And I do that, and that's because, there we go. That's because they're cheap, and I love frozen fruit that's actually fresher than the other fruit you buy. So anyway, it's good to put a date on them. That way you know. I don't think I can make them any fatter. Or else I can just make the meatballs and put them here, and then they'll be cooked already. That's a good idea. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll make little meatballs, put them on the side here without any veggies, and we will cook them in the oven. Okay. So how are we going to do that? Let's get some... Let's put some breadcrumbs in here to make it a little bit fatter. We could also use flaxseed or hemp seeds, something healthy, right, instead of breadcrumbs. But knowing my family, my boys, they'll probably be able to tell. They'll probably be able to tell the difference and say, hey, what you trying to do here? I taste something weird. What is that taste? And I'll say, oh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Let me get some more breadcrumbs around there. Put it around there. There we go. There you go. One big meatball. Woohoo! See, sometimes you gotta play. Guys, cooking is like, it's like art. Sometimes you gotta just go for it. Sometimes you gotta make new things. Yes, yes, yes. Kind of like, I think of my favorite show that I watch at night to fall asleep. I always put on, oh, that's a really big meatball. I always put on 59, which is the food channel. So I'm always watching Chopped, or I'm watching, what other thing? Oh, Guy Fieri. I love him. Friday nights, he does Drivers Dine-In and Dives, or Drivers Dive-In, no, Diners, Triple D, Diners, Drive-In, and Dives, or something like that. Anyway, and he does that show, and I watch it because I just love it. But lately, since he can't get around, right, because he's not allowed to go to restaurants because of the quarantine, he's been doing takeout instead. So he like goes to the restaurants, he gets the stuff they give to him, and then they go on live with him, and they tell him how to cook it. And so he cooks it, and then he eats it, and then he shares it with us, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that too. And then there's a lot of really new shows there that I like. And I like to watch that at night because if I fall asleep, it's okay. It's not like I'm missing something out of a series or something I'm watching. Okay, so there we go with the extra we made meatballs. See? Meatballs with the extra. It's kind of dark, isn't it? So now let me wash my hands a little bit because they're very sticky. Sticky. Okay, maybe tomorrow we'll make calzones, guys. Okay. So we're gonna put this to the side, and we're gonna bring this pan now. And this pan, first, before I oil it up a little bit, I'm going to, all these little stuffings from our potatoes, and I did a whole big Vidalia onion, and I normally put also a green pepper in there, but I don't have that many, so I did it today. The onion will make it sweet and delicious. And I had sweet potatoes that were also going bad because I didn't use them right away. So I put those in there. And what I like to do is, because there's too much stuffing in there in those peppers. So it's always good to have a little side of something, right? So I like to bake the potatoes in the oven. I just put a little bit of oil on the bottom. And then you just throw them in there. You cover these also up with foil. Cover them also, and you can season them if you like. I don't. I like the natural taste, and I think I might make myself a fish or something, or a veggie burger, because I don't eat meat. And I'll have some of these with it. What was I saying? We're going to cover this with foil. We're going to put it in the oven. We're going to cover this with foil. This will be 40 minutes. Then we're going to take off the foil. And we will leave it another 30 until it looks cooked. You will see that the green peppers will get very, very shrivelly. The green peppers will get very, very shriveled up, the outside of them. And that's when you know that they are ready, when they're very, very, very shrivelly. So it might be even an hour, guys, because it's going to cook a long time because the meat is raw. The onions are raw. Everything is raw. And those are the potatoes. We're going to cover them up with foil. Then take the foil off in 30 minutes. And voila! We'll wait till they get a little bit golden. You might want to move the potatoes a little bit. And enjoy. I'll show you guys a finished picture when it comes out. Bye. I forgot the garlic, so make sure you put garlic. And I also forgot the breadcrumbs to put them at the very top so it gets toasty. So I guess I'm going to bring it out now and do that. Or else I won't, and I'll just leave it not toasty. They'll still eat it. It won't look as nice, but you know what I mean. You just put the breadcrumb on the very top of it once you put the meat over it, and you just kind of pat it down with your hand. And the breadcrumb, when you take off the aluminum foil that it cooked halfway, it will get golden, and the breadcrumbs will get nice and hard on the top, kind of like when you make meatloaf, right, guys? Anyway, that's it. I just forgot the garlic and the breadcrumbs to put on the top. The rest I think was good. Okay, I'll see you guys back when it's done. Bye.